Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price, the only show on the internet that asks the question that matters. Are these movies worth the ticket price? In other words, are they worth your time and money? Thank you for tuning in. What are you doing? I can see you from the corner of my eye.
I got this song in my head and it's very catchy. I was dancing.
I can see you mouthing your shit talk.
You don't know what I was doing.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. I am Jake. I am the co-host and forehead of the show. With me, as always, sitting across the way, douche extraordinaire, and the only man to get kicked out of a palm reader's because she, quote unquote, doesn't appreciate smut. Tevis at Master Control. Tevis, how are you, sir?
All I did was tell her she'd have to shave my palms before she could read them. She didn't like that.
Well, I think common courtesy is you do that beforehand. You don't make her do it.
I was paying her
To read your palm, not shave it.
I thought she was a professional, but apparently wrong. I was wrong.
She just took one look. I was just like, oh my word.
Get the hell out of here, Sasquatch. Chewbacca-looking motherfucker.
Okay, speaking of Chewbacca.
Yeah.
A New Hope.
Yes, he was in that.
They're on the Falcon.
Yes.
Falcon?
Falcon.
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 Yeah.
Millennium Falcon. Whatever you want to say.
Is it interchangeable?
Potato.
Okay. And they're repairing it because that ship sucks.
Oh, yeah.
And at one point, Han reaches over and just strokes Chewie's head like a dog.
Yeah.
Is that kosher?
Well, yeah.
Is that cool? Like,
The shit that they've been through, yeah, it's fun.
did this deepen our friendship? That's my point. I don't understand their relationship. It's weird.
I don't know what to say now. I just got petted.
Like Chewie, yeah.
I'm not Chewy.
In this relationship, you are.
You sure shit are not Han.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Mr. Ford over here.
Thank you.
Say something about the Nazis.
No, they all suck.
I know. I was setting you up for like an indie line.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah. Ford, all right. All right. Well, luckily, we are not here just to talk about weird friendships in a poorly written children's sci-fi epic.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
What are we here to talk about?
We are here to talk about a war movie.
A Star Wars movie?
A different kind of war movie.
Okay.
We are talking about the Brad Pitt starring Fury. Released
in 2014.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that was my thought too when I looked it up.
I thought it was longer than that.
I thought it was newer than that.
Yeah, I was thinking like late, maybe 2009, 2010.
See, in my mind, I'm thinking like 2019.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nope. 2014.
So shit.
Written.
11 years ago.
Yeah. As of this recording, you are correct, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Written by David Ayer and directed by David Ayer. Red flag. Writer-director is always a red flag.
Are you familiar with Mr. Ayer's work?
Possibly, but I'm for life at remembering anything. This is where you're like, oh, it looks like he did Delivery in the Rear, number 9.
No, number 8.
Oh, excuse me.
No, when I pulled up his filmography, and this is after I'd already watched the movie, prior to our show here, or pulling it from the hat. I wasn't real thrilled with it.
His filmography?
Yeah.
Okay.
He did, and I have not seen these two films because I refuse to watch a Jason Statham movie.
Okay, you know what? So right out of the gate, I do agree with you on that.
He directed A Working Man and The Beekeeper.
Wait, those are both Jason Statham movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought only one of them was going to be.
No. He did a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, End of Watch, a police
I've seen
drama.
that one. I liked that one.
I like that one.
I watched that one.
Of what I watched of it, I never did get to finish watching the whole thing.
It's been a few years. I'd have to rewatch it to say if it is or isn't worth the ticket price. But I like Jake Gyllenhaal, and I remember thinking that was an enjoyable watch for like a date night.
The one that really just kind of made me go, "Ooh," Suicide Squad.
Like, wait, see, here's the thing. The DCEU, right?
DCEU, yes.
Is so ridiculously bad and always has been. Are we talking about the original Suicide Squad or the one that they completely retconned like 2 years later?
The original.
Okay.
Yeah. The
with slightly different Suicide Squad members.
Slightly, yes.
It's the one with Will Smith.
Exactly.
Okay.
The other one that they remade was James Gunn.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing wonders.
That one was actually enjoyable. I like that one. The first one, no. Terrible. So, there we are, Mr. Ayer.
Okay. Well, that doesn't bode well.
No, not at all.
Well, Fury starring Brad Pitt.
Hell yeah.
Your man, John Bernthal.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's favorite best friend, Michael Pena.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's favorite up-and-coming demigod, Logan Lerman.
Yeah.
And some other guy who's not important enough to mention.
You mean you're not going to mention
No.
Shia?
Why would I?
Shia LaBeouf?
No. That was the joke.
I know.
Okay. Actually, he's the joke. No.
Okay.
I hope he's doing well. I'm just not a fan of his work. Even though this is the second Shia movie to grace our show.
I don't count that first one.
Is it a movie we talked about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did we do an episode on it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Was he in it? This is our second Shia movie. Just wait till we do the Even Stevens movie.
Ew.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Shia LaBeouf. Sue me.
He's hit and miss with me. So, I understand.
Name a hit.
This one.
His performance?
Yes.
Well, now we got something to get to. All right. Sure.
And I liked him in Peanut Butter Falcon.
Didn't watch it.
It was good. It was good.
Is that the one where he plays his own dad?
No. This is the one with he plays like a drifter and he teams up with this kid who has Down syndrome and they're on a journey to go to a wrestling school. This kid with Down syndrome wants to be a wrestler.
Okay.
And his caregiver is trying to find him, and yeah, it's interesting.
He abducts.
No, he doesn't abduct him. The kid has already ran away. He just stumbles across Shia's character, and they.
So it's more of an aiding and abetting situation.
Kind of, yeah, a little bit.
There's a little ick here.
No, it's fun. It's a fun movie.
We've watched lots of fun movies with kind of ick premises.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, let's talk about a budget for Fury.
Okay.
What do you think Fury was made for?
Ooh, 110.
Okay. Well, made with an estimated $68 million.
Damn.
Apparently, when 40% of your movie is shot inside a tank, not that expensive.
But still, I was thinking like our Lethal Weapon 4.
Oh, yeah. Some big...
That was like
inflated budget.
$40 million, I think. I can't remember.
I'll look it up. It wasn't that long ago. Lethal Weapon 4, 140.
Yeah. So estimate. To go from whatever that was to a movie of this, not scope. It's not a huge.
It's not Saving Private Ryan.
No, it's not. But it's
But for what's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive that they could do all that with.
Like the Star Wars laser show.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have a problem with that at all.
We'll get there. All right. Worldwide gross. 68 million estimated budget. With a worldwide gross, do you want to take a stab at it? Or you want me to just... He's thinking about it.
I'll say no. I'll say 190.
$1, Bob. $1. Going 190.
Yep.
What was the original guess? 2 something?
I was going to say like 250.
Okay. Well, your official locked-in answer is closer.
Okay.
With a worldwide gross of $211.8 million. Okay. So, I mean, what would that be? A little over triple its money back. That's a good day, I think, in anyone's books. But given who's in this, that's, at first glance, that seems a little low, honestly.
I would agree, yeah.
When you figure Brad Pitt, John Bernthal, Michael Pena, Logan Lerman, some other people.
The 41st highest grossing film of that year.
What was number 1? I'll just make it easy. You got the list pulled up.
Well, the top 2 are gross and... Oh, gross. So the first one is Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Wait, isn't that one of the...
I stopped caring after the first one.
Oh, what's his name? You know, the guy I can't stand.
Shia?
And his Boston accent.
Oh, I don't know. They switched
What's
at
his
some
name?
point. Yeah. Oh my God. I almost said Logan Paul. He's not nearly
Nope.
as bad as Logan Paul.
It's not him.
No.
No, this is an actual
Talk about
actor.
a stain on society. Mark Wahlberg.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
That's a Mark Wahlberg Transformers, is
I
it not?
can't remember.
Okay.
But the second one was The Hobbit: Battle of the Five Armies.
Ooh, not that one. Not that one. I'm not looking forward to talking about the Hobbit movies.
Captain America: Winter Soldier was number 7.
That's straight garbage.
Are you
That's
for real?
That's pure trash.
Maleficent beat it.
Gross.
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's aging like a fine glass of milk. Get my chauvinism out of the way here.
I have not kept up with the aging process of Angelina Jolie.
Every day she looks more and more like her father.
Mm.
And I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
I'm like, Anaconda! What? Am I watching Mission Impossible?
Speaking of an actor I cannot stand. Ugh.
All right. And awards with 6 wins and an additional 23 nominations, but nothing jumping out at you.
Okay.
So, Tevis, that brings us to the next big question. What is your history with Fury?
I saw this in theaters.
Okay.
That was the one and only time I've ever watched this. And as you know, I like to frequent the thrift shops.
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna say the curtain sections of movies of a movie rental.
Well,
place.
if those places were around anymore, then yes. But the curtain section at thrift stores is really terrible. That curtain doesn't move; it just slides. It's so sticky.
It's just a sliding door at this point.
It's like one of those barn doors.
Yes, yeah.
But no, I frequent the thrift stores because I'm all about the physical media.
Yep.
And I found Fury a while ago. It's been probably a year and a half ago, probably 2 years. There for like $1. It's like, shit, yeah, I was on Blu-ray. Hell yeah, I'll buy it. And I never watched it.
Man, how frequent is that story on this show? Is found movie for super cheap, thought, hell yeah, never opened it.
I have a ton of those.
We're slowly working through them.
Trying to, yeah.
There's a reason a lot of them are in the hat.
Hell yeah. I gotta watch them for something. Nothing like being forced to watch it for this show. So, what's your history with The Fury?
I have seen it once before watching it for the show. My wife and I stumbled across it maybe 2 or 3 years ago. We were just, doom scrolling through, like, all right, what can we watch? What can we watch? And we came across it, and Anna's a sucker for war movies and dark, gritty human drama kind of stories. She loves true crime and all that kind of stuff. And we read the list of names, and we thought interesting. But as I really sit here now as we're talking about it, I have no memory whatsoever of even hearing about this movie in 2014 and its theatrical run. I have no memory whatsoever of even vaguely hearing about it.
I think that's probably most people's take, because I don't remember. I remember that I went and watched it.
Yeah.
But other than the very end of it, like how they go.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything else about it. So when I was watching this, it felt brand new.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of cool, though.
Yeah. So this was my second watch.
All right, mine too.
All right, well then, I think we're ready. Are you ready?
Sure.
I'm ready.
Let's do this.
Let's get into
Let's
it.
get this Fury going.
2014's Fury. Fury he was the pyromaniac that Naked Snake had to take down, correct?
Samuel L. Jackson, yeah.
What?
Samuel L. Jackson, Fury.
No, not that Fury.
Oh, different Fury.
The Metal Gear Fury.
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay.
Was that in 3?
Yeah, Snake Eater.
No, never did play that. I hated it.
That's the best one.
I hated it. Trash.
No, it's the best one.
I couldn't get past the camera.
Well, just because you're old and can't play a video game isn't the game's fault.
Yeah, well, absolutely, it's the game's fault. They're the ones that put the camera like that. Fuck you.
You mean behind his shoulder so you can aim better?
No, that wasn't. No, it was a top-down, wasn't it? Maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
It has mixed elements. You could move the camera a lot in 3.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something different. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But no, I'm not I'm not up on the Metal Gear Solid villains.
Oh no, after 3, it's
other than that one that you had to plug in the Player 2 controller to take out.
Psycho Mantis.
Yes,
Colonel. There we go. All right. No, so the actual movie Fury
yes
opens with radio chatter. And honestly, nothing necessarily specific or clear. It's just mid-battle radio chatter.
Yeah, and it's not even like frantic. It feels important, but it's not like, oh my God, hurry up! We need help. We need backup. Blah blah blah. It's none of that. It's just kind of just regular chatter. It felt like to me.
And then you can hear the chaos in the background. And and then we get the blurb about tanks and tank crews during World War II and how the American tanks were not quite up to snuff versus the heavy-duty German counterparts.
Yeah, they were not outnumbered, but outgunned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about the American tanks. No one outnumbered them, because we could mass produce those cheap little coffins like you wouldn't believe.
That ain't no shit.
Although their high mobility did help us in Africa.
And it helped here too, I think. A little.
I think being a fully armored death machine would have helped a little more.
I do too, yeah.
But we'll get there. But then the camera really comes in to a smoke and fire-filled battlefield, post-battlefield, as a man rides in on a white horse.
I thought for the longest time that this was like an aerial shot of like forest.
Oh.
And then you see that guy coming in the distance and he just kind of slowly appears. And I thought, are we flying into like a church tower or something? I don't know. My brain was just not following it for the longest time. And he finally come into focus a little bit, and I was like, oh, that's a guy on a horse. And I'm looking at ground, not trees. Okay. But it was a really cool looking shot.
So wait. It's Metal Gear Solid 3's fault for the camera. Damn it, Fury. Damn it, David Ayer. And just shitty fade in.
No, that was my eyes' fault. My eyes and my brain.
The movie gets a
Yeah,
pass.
yeah,
but
the
not,
movie does.
Not the best Metal Gear
Fuck
game.
Metal Gear Solid.
Big boss, these nuts. But we see a man riding in on a white horse when all of a sudden, as he's riding by, kind of just surveying what's going on, a corpse comes to life, springs up off the ground, grabs him, pulls him off the horse, and just knifes him repeatedly in the face.
Oh, he jumps off the tank.
Oh, is that where he came
Yeah.
from? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
A corpse off the tank, knifing him in the face.
loved it.
And I just went, oh, well, it's obviously not Brad Pitt riding the horse like I thought it was.
No, he's freeing that horse.
He was the tackler, not the tackle-e.
And honestly, when this happened, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right? Because it's just like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Can't see what's happening, and then all of a sudden, murder. Actually, it was the heat of combat, so it's heroic.
Absolutely. All right, I want to get this out of the way right now. How?
Hello. What the hell do you think you're doing? Only I get to talk to the camera.
Shut up, Glenn.
Do you know the inappropriate amount of money I would pay for a name tag of Stan Makita's Donuts, Glenn, manager? I would pay an inappropriate amount of money for that.
But that's funny because that wasn't your prop from the movie.
No, but as I'm thinking about it right now.
Terrible. So I want to get this out of the way right now.
Okay.
How damn awesome does Brad Pitt look?
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. With the scars on his face and the haircut he's got. Oh, man.
I'm really glad he wasn't doing his Inglourious Bastards voice.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like his Inglourious Bastards voice, but just don't be Bo Bridges.
Yeah.
Or Jeff Bridges, rather, and carry the same.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah. It's
as soon as he did Rooster Cogburn, Jeff Bridges did like 6 movies in a row where he just did Rooster's voice.
And it's annoying. Every time I see a movie after that, I'm like, stop it!
Because I loved it for Rooster.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was okay.
But then I went, oh no, that's his only like Western voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
/ undead ghost cop.
Western. He was a cowboy.
Yeah.
Cowboy.
He wasn't Sling Blade.
It all runs together. It's all the same.
Are you funny? Ha ha. Or
Ain't got no gas in it.
damn your Sling Blade. What is that guy's name?
Billy Bob Thornton.
No, what is the character's name? I only know. I just call
Mr.
him,
Blade.
his name is not Mr. Blade.
It's Sling Blade. That was his name.
That's what I call it.
That's his Mortal Kombat name.
That's his God-given Christian name. It's his full government name. Is Sling Blade.
And same way with Wesley Snipes. Mr. Blade, how are you?
No, I believe it's Mr. Tax Evader.
No, that's I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Blade.
Yeah, him right next to Crocodile Dundee.
Is he dead?
I don't know. I haven't called him in a while.
Why not? God damn it. Get him on the show.
Because he kept asking me for money to pay his taxes.
Well, somebody's got to. Shit.
But going back to Brad Pitt. No, his look, everything. And honestly, I think I'd be okay with more Brad Pitt starring war movies.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I'd be okay with that.
Yep, I agree. As long as he doesn't do that voice again.
Exactly. As long
Save
as
it for Inglourious Bastards too.
And then just talk. No. Wait, it's been a hot minute. So unless that movie ends in some fashion that's wildly different from how I think I remember it ending, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, he could do a prequel. Because we gotta learn about every single detail of every single movie, so we gotta have a prequel for every single fucking thing.
We've talked about how I think I'm kind of over Tarantino movies. You got to appreciate him for that. It doesn't matter how much money someone's willing to throw at him; he will never blemish his work by like bastardizing it.
Hell yeah,
He's just like, no, I'm good, thanks. Don't need it.
I appreciate that a lot.
Yes, very much so. So with the Nazi dispatched, Brad Pitt's character, Don, aka War Daddy.
I just call him War Daddy.
That was unsolicited information.
I still call him War Daddy.
I'm sure you do.
Even in the new movie that he's in, the Formula One, still War Daddy.
There you go. Can I continue, please?
Sure, go ahead.
While the tank crew is asking if, Brad Pitt, Don,
War Daddy,
got the Nazi, there are some frantic tank repairs going on. And I have in my notes, tense post-battle repairs. As Don just keeps kicking...
Who?
War Daddy.
Oh, okay.
Keeps kicking Coon Ass. Can I call him Coon Ass?
Why?
Because his war name is Coon Ass.
Is it really? I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
Look it up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's got his. The only one that didn't really have a war name was Gordy.
It was just Gordo.
Gordo or Gordy or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
No, look up John Bernthal's. It's something Coon Ass.
Okay.
What was it? It's Coon Ass.
Coon Ass. Well, it is now.
Why you keep whooping on me? Because it's all you understand. You're an animal. You're less than human. He, kicks him in the butt again.
Grady Travis,
a.k.a. Coon Ass. Does it have Coon Ass?
It doesn't. No, you got Bible, War Daddy, Gordo.
It's got everyone except his listed.
Yeah. So I think you were just making shit up.
No, it's Coon Ass. But so we meet the team as it stands. Commander of the tank, War Daddy. Michael Pena's Gordy or Gordo is our driver. What?
I was thinking of when Gordo was speaking Spanish.
Oh yes.
And Mr. Daddy was
Nope. I don't even care about the rest of your story. We're gonna stop. I'm gonna stop you right there.
Well, if it was Mel Gibson, you'd be like, yes, Mr. Daddy, please go.
I have said a lot of really troubling things, but I've never called him Mr. Daddy.
Yeah, that felt weird as soon as I said it.
As weird as when I petted your head, because it felt that weird to me.
It was that weird, yeah. So, Mr. War Daddy,
slightly better,
is being a little derogatory towards him.
Hey, what kind of tank are we in? That's right, we're in an American tank. So we're not going to speak Mexican. You want to speak Mexican, work in a Mexican tank. We're going to speak American in this tank.
I love this moment. They're just back and forth. War Daddy is like, hurry the fuck up when you got to get going. And everybody just has... There's a lot of good chemistry going on in this.
From the actors, yes.
Yes.
Maybe not so much John Bernthal and Shia LaBeouf, who plays Bible. He's the gunner. You know those stories, right?
What?
Apparently, Shia went full method actor for this movie.
That's why he has a tooth gone.
And it was really irritating and went too far. And when John Bernthal confronted him and asked him what I can only imagine be very politely to knock that shit off, and Shia didn't, Mr. Bernthal leveled him.
Really? I did not know that.
The story I always heard was things got heated and Bernthal just blasted him in the face.
Okay. Yeah, because I heard that Shia wouldn't like take a bath.
Yeah, because he's like, no, we're in the tank and we're in the field and we wouldn't be able to bathe. And
yeah, and that's why he had a dentist remove his tooth so that he would show his war wornness.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, dude, what the hell?
And then, between his stench and his, I guess, overall demeanor, I guess he was less than fun to be around. Yeah, John Barthol punched him right in the face at some point.
Okay.
At least according to the behind-the-scenes stories I had always heard about this movie.
All right. I mean, sometimes you just got to punch a motherfucker.
That's true. So, while the actors have great chemistry, it kind of seems like everyone in this tank definitely hates each other.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like a family, so you know.
Kind of, but not like a healthy family.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
No. Okay.
I mean, they're all assholes.
And that's the thing. I'm like, does this movie have a single likable character? Well, luckily they repair the tank and limp it on back to camp, where more assholery ensues. But War Daddy meets up with his new assistant driver,
Norman,
because
they lost a guy.
Yes, they did in that last battle.
Yeah, he lost his head.
Yes, he did.
Just a little bit.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
The part where
we're not there yet.
Mr. Norman.
We're not there yet. Quit jumping the gun.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But needing to replace their fallen brother, a supply truck driver was brought in.
Fresh to the war.
Yeah, he's been there like
8 weeks,
8 weeks,
something like that.
8 sounds right.
Yeah.
8 weeks, and I'm pretty sure he was non-combat basically that whole time.
Because didn't he say he was like a typist or something for a while?
Well, he was like, I am not trained to do this. I was trained to type like 80 words a minute or something, 60 words a minute, whatever it was. But we learned Norman is a fresh-faced rookie, but he's going to be the new assistant tank driver for Fury. So he goes and meets the other tank members, and they're all assholes.
Oh, yeah.
And they all needlessly ride him, and they give him his first duty to get some warm water from the kitchen and clean out the inside of the tank, particularly the seat he will be occupying. And while doing that, he's cleaning up the blood and the whatever else, and then comes across half a face just sitting there in a lump behind the driver's chair. And I just went, oh my God. And then Norman quickly vacates the tank and vomits everywhere.
Vacates the tank and then vacates his stomach. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. See, and this, I don't remember this part at all. I don't remember him cleaning it up. I don't remember that. So when I saw this for the second time, it's like, holy God. Imagine being in that thing when that guy bit the dust and half of his face goes flying all over you.
Yeah.
And the other half is laying there next to you. Like, no wonder these guys are a little unlikable.
Testy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gruff.
Yeah.
Assholes.
Assholes.
Okay.
Yeah. I can understand it.
Everyone's giving Norman a hard time. Part of a face. Okay. So, War Daddy attends a brief meeting with the company lieutenant.
The 12-year-old?
And I just went, how old is that guy?
What was it? One of the guys said, have you learned to shave yet? Or have you even shaved yet? Or something like that. So
the lieutenant is talking about how all the tanks are going to form a column and go to assist another unit, an infantry unit, so they can then break and take over a town and continue their charge towards Berlin. And that's where, at the end, he's like, any questions? And one of the other tank commanders is like, yeah, have you started shaving yet? Or,
yes.
And he's just like, man, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he got that a lot. But okay. I love how all these guys around him are just dirty and beat down and he's standing there giving them orders in his nice clean get up, and just it doesn't look like he's got probably no mud on his shoes at all.
Yeah.
He's not seen anything. So,
but they've got a job. It's time to get on the move and make it to the next town.
No, Jason Isaacs.
We're not there yet.
We're not. Okay, go ahead.
He's at the town.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So they're on the move, and Norman is getting accustomed to his new job, but is having a lot of moral disagreements with what he's being asked to do.
Yeah, he's got some hangups.
So they're in the column, they're driving, when all of a sudden there's movement spotted in the forest. And Norman they yell at him to shoot, and he hesitates because he realizes the movement in the trees are children. To which then an explosive of some sort nails the tank in front of them, and the fresh-faced lieutenant bursts from the top, very much on fire, and while he's rolling around in the ground, he manages just enough coherency to pull his own pistol and end his own suffering.
Jesus.
There's going to be a lot of that response in this movie.
Yes. I found myself multiple times just going, oh, Jesus.
Good Lord.
I think I did that more in this movie than I did Saving Private Ryan.
We're going to get there. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
And now, they clear out the forest and lots of guns and bullets and death. And War Daddy pretty much grabs Norman by the scruff, hauls him out of the tank, and makes him look at the charred, still burning corpse of the lieutenant. And he's like, this is your fault, you dumbass.
Yeah.
You refuse to shoot, and this is what happens when you don't follow orders. This is what happens when you don't pull the trigger. This is your fault.
I like the part just previous to this where they're driving along and War Daddy is telling Gordo to teach Norman about his gun.
Yeah.
About how it works. And he's talking about the tracer rounds, but he says something. He says, remember, short bursts. That way you harvest more meat per bullet.
Yes.
I'd never heard it put that way before. Harvesting meat per bullet. I don't know if I like that.
I get your hesitation to embrace that phrasing.
Yeah. Never heard it before, and I don't think I want to hear it again.
That's some cold shit.
Yes, it is. But that's just how these guys are.
So, War Daddy assumes total command of the tank column, and they push on, where they meet up with the infantry and surprise Jason Isaacs.
Yes.
And I just went, holy shit, is that Jason Isaacs?
Yeah.
I got really pumped.
I did too. I was like, shit, I didn't know he was in this.
Is this our
second
or third?
I think second.
Second,
yeah.
Man, I like Jason Isaacs.
I do too.
He's so underrated.
I 100% agree with you. Do you know who the other surprise was? Sergeant Miles.
Who was Sergeant Miles?
He was the one that brought War Daddy to Jason Isaacs.
Okay.
That's Scott Eastwood.
Okay.
Clint Eastwood's son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a surprise?
No, not really. Well, it kind of is, because I was like, oh, I know who that is. It's Scott Eastwood. But then later on, he's just kind of dismissed.
I was going to say, do we ever see him again?
Yeah.
Okay.
He dies.
Oh.
But it's just like, oh, okay. He's gone. Oh, well.
Okay, then.
Yeah. I don't think he's quite got the movie career his father had.
Probably not.
Probably won't either.
No, probably not. Yeah. Jason Isaacs, though.
Jason Isaacs.
So with the with the two companies met, the plan is hatched where the tanks are going to move in on the town, and the infantry is going to march along behind them, using the tanks as mobile shields to get to the town. Essentially.
Yeah. Smart move.
Yeah. And I do like how Jason Isaacs' character, he's like, look, I know who you are. I know you know what you're doing. So whatever you need to do is fine. War Daddy's reputation precedes him, and Jason Isaacs' character is just like, whatever. You're going to make the right call. I can trust you to make the right call. We just need to get in this town.
Captain Wagoner.
Ah, is that who that is?
That is his name. That was his character's name.
Because while they were looking over the map, and Wagner's like, okay, we can, you guys move in here. We'll go this way. And that's when Brad Pitt is like, well, I don't like how this leaves my flank exposed. Are you okay if we swing a little wide and take the flank here? That way any oncoming fire will face it head on. And that's when he's like, look, I know who you are. That whatever you think is fine. I don't care.
And that's a good captain. Like you know what you got. Let them do their thing.
The lieutenant probably didn't know who he had or would have listened to their counsel.
I agree.
But the captain did. And now we get the field battle as we're seeing the tanks storm over the hedgerows towards the town, and the infantry kind of just line up and get behind them.
This was so cool.
This looked awesome.
It did look so good. God, it looks so good.
There's something awe-inspiring when you're just watching these machines just gun it through the field. Then there's that one scene where it's like, Brad Pitt's yelling at one of the other tank leaders. He's like, hard left, watch where you're going. You've got men in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's like, right stick. You got men on the ground. Watch what you're doing, asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Another tank almost ran over their own people.
Yeah, I like that little addition to it. It just makes it feel all the more real.
And it also shows how aware
absolutely
War Daddy is to what is going on.
Yeah, he knows where everybody is at, where they're supposed to be, and I love that a little addition to it.
Yeah. All of a sudden, that's when Gordo calls over to Norman to shoot those Germans, shoot those Nazis. And Norman's like, he's on his gun, he's looking around, and all he sees are corpses. And he's like, there's nothing to shoot at. You shoot at the fucking Nazis. And he's like, they're dead. You want me to, what's the point of shooting dead people? And that's when Corey's like, are you a fucking doctor?
I love it.
Do you know that they're not going to get up and shoot us in our ass? Shoot them.
I love it.
Which, I mean, does he, Norman? Like, does he?
Does he shoot him?
Yeah.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does. I think he still hesitates.
Yeah, I don't think he shoots. He may shoot a few times, but I don't think he shoots anybody.
No.
At this point. But as they're charging across the field, you got the guys in the trenches shooting at them. And I love when War Daddy is talking about aiming and shooting the cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Just the chatter that him and Shia's character have back and forth. I love it. And when they hit a target and you see that body go flying way up in the air, I was like, direct hit. That's awesome.
Yep, there it is.
But this whole scene is just fantastic with the big gun in the trees. I think there's 2 in the trees.
2 or 3.
And the whistling of those massive cannon fire going by their head.
Yeah.
And, oh man, the sound.
The ricochets.
The ricochet. That was so cool too, man. Oh, the sound design in this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And not just the bullets.
But I put on here, in this battle in particular, we really see it, the heavy use of tracer rounds.
Yes.
I don't know what a real-life tracer round looks like.
It looks like that, but it's not as excessive. I think, because what I read was they wanted to keep it as accurate as they could, but he wanted to put them closer together just so it looked a little more cinematic.
It looked a little more Star Wars.
There was a point where I was like, okay, a little too much.
It looked like an X-wing exchanging fire with a TIE fighter.
It kind of did at some points, but I remember watching footage of Desert Storm.
Yeah,
on TV when I was growing up. And that was like the first time I'd ever seen any of that. And you saw some of that shit with the trace around.
I don't. For me, it wasn't Desert Storm, but I remember seeing the news footage of when we returned. After 9/11, and they, it was on the news, and you could see stuff. But like, cool. Here is news footage shot with a night vision. And there's a tracer. I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what that actually looks like. This feed is nothing to me.
Yeah, but I thought, no, it looked cool, but I think they put them a little too close together.
It looked cool until it looked a little much.
Yeah.
So the battle is over. The anti-tank turrets and encampments, entrenchments.
Herfen.
What was that?
The Swedish Chef.
Shut up.
No. Charlie Brown's parents.
Shut up. No, in one of the bloopers for Grumpy Old Men. When he's just like, and that's chefs, oh, and they just do a whole scene in gibberish.
We need movies with more blooper reels.
Absolutely. If Fury had blooper reels, it would have been better. If Fury had done Bertha punching out Shia LaBeouf, it would have been better. But they break through, and town is taken, essentially.
You're gonna skip a part.
No, I'm not.
No, you're going to the town.
Not yet.
Okay.
But like with the outer defenses gone, the town is essentially taken.
Okay.
But as they clear the tree line and they stop to kind of assess things, a German officer.
I don't know for sure if he was an officer. I can't remember.
A soldier for sure is captured. And War Daddy, being fed up with Norman's inability to squeeze the trigger, once again drags his ass out of that tank, draws his own sidearm, which he uses like a revolver for reasons.
Okay. First of all, do you remember what they said to that German soldier when War Daddy was putting him down on his knees when he was talking about his coat?
Oh, they were all asking him, where'd you get it? Because he had an American GI coat on.
Absolutely. With all the stuff ripped off of it.
Yeah.
Prior to that, we saw Captain Wagoner.
Yeah.
With his coat. That was a German coat with all the stuff ripped off of it.
Okay.
So it's like we are kind of doing similar shit.
Yeah.
That the Germans are doing?
Well, yeah, but that's just survival.
I get that.
Oh, God, I need a coat.
I get that. But it's just, I like that mirror. It's okay. They kind of ignored it.
I didn't notice it. You know? Yeah, but okay, if the Germans had captured Wagoner and his men.
Oh, yeah.
This same situation would have gone down.
Absolutely.
And then German Norman would have been pulled out of a tank. And
yeah, I agree.
So he's like, you know what? You're no good to me if you can't do your job. It's going to happen sooner or later. We're going to do it now. You're going to shoot this guy. You're going to take his life. And then that way, when we're in this tank, you could do your fucking job.
This was kind of uncomfortable to watch.
It gets really uncomfortable. Not in like a poorly done, not in a bad way.
No.
It's just like, oh God, I don't want to watch this. If I were there, I would have left if I had been there.
They were just acting wise. Both of them are so good at this point. I was like, God. And then everybody just kind of standing around watching him like, fucking shoot him. What are you doing? And no, it was really good.
So Norman refuses. And at some point, Brad Pitt like gets him in a headlock and then gets behind him and has him in a half chokehold, half is putting the gun in his hand and like holding his hand with the gun. And then Norman's trying to fight back. It's really awkward and intense. And then they kind of fall to the ground and Brad Pitt, using Norman's hand, shoots that guy.
Wasn't there a point where Norman was like, just kill me?
Yes, because he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to be there because he breaks down in the tank. He starts crying.
And that's, because War Daddy hits him like, if you're going to bellyache like that, turn off your intercom or something.
Yeah, I love that. Well, God, what did he say? Shit, I can't remember. I'll have to find a quote, the actual quote that he says, and put it in. But yeah, he says, turn off your mic if you're going to squall like a baby or something. Yeah, super cool.
So Norman gets his first kill.
Kind of.
He gets an assist.
Yeah. Really?
The judges are going to give him an assist on that one.
Okay.
His stick touched the puck before War Daddy put it in the goal. He gets an assist.
Okay. So he like slapped it out of the air and redirected it?
Deflects count.
Deflections
count.
That's true. How good is hockey?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's faster paced than football and more action packed than soccer. It's the best of both worlds. And no one likes baseball.
Yeah, and the baseball's too fucking slow. Boof. So I have NHL 24 on my PS5. This month, the new free games came out, and it was NBA 2K5 or 2K25.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay, so I downloaded it. I played like half a game. I was like, God, this is so fucking slow. I'm so used to playing NHL.
Yeah.
Well, I deleted it and I fired up the NHL.
Damn it. What was that game? Oh, it's going to bother me. Like there was legitimately one good basketball game and it was in the 90s, obviously, because I had played it.
NBA Live.
No, it was like NBA Jams.
NBA.
You would just like jump into the rafters of a building and dunk from like half court and stuff.
Yeah. He's on fire. Yeah. NBA
there
Jam.
He goes. He's like, boom, and there's just explosions and lights.
Hell yeah. Big head mode.
Yes. Yeah, you know exactly the game.
Hell yeah. I played the hell out of that.
That was the only good one.
Yeah. I liked that, and I liked NFL Blitz.
Everyone liked Blitz.
Yeah,
yep.
Those were my two go-tos back then. But yeah, right now, fucking hockey's so good.
Yeah.
On the PS5. Anyway, back to the war movie.
They go into town. They encounter a little more resistance. Luckily, the tanks pretty quickly take it out. But what they really notice driving into town are the civilians having been hanged and lining the streets, and they have signs.
Yes.
And now, part of when War Daddy was giving Gordo a hard time about speaking Mexican, and he's like, well, what's that shit? You know German? Yeah, Gordo. We're fighting a war against Germany, and we are currently in Germany. Speaking German is a strategic asset. And he's like, no, you knew that shit before we came here. You're hiding something, you know. And but he knows German, so they're like, you know, what does the sign say? And it was like, we are cowards and refuse to fight for the German people, something to that effect.
Yes. And they were like, some of them were kids.
Yeah. Because in the blurb in the beginning, it's talking about at this stage in the war, Hitler has declared total war and the military mobilization of every man, woman, and child.
Yeah.
And so we see the people who, I guess, refuse to participate. And that's when, because we learned throughout the movie up to this point that War Daddy in particular has a strong, visceral hate for the SS.
Yes, he does.
And he points out to Norman, he's like, Norman, you see this? This is what the SS does. This is what they do to their own people. Imagine what they do to ours. You see an SS uniform, you kill on sight. No hesitation, no questions asked. These are bad people. But they get there, minimal resistance, but there is an older man who comes out with a makeshift white flag on like a cane. And they all stop, and War Daddy's talking with him, and calls him Grandpa, which I really like.
Yeah.
But the old man explains there are German soldiers in the building behind me that want to surrender. And that's when Brad Pitt orders, okay, you tell them to come out, throw down their weapons, put their hands up, and very slowly just come out so we can see them all. So the old man yells the order, not that he gives orders, but, yells out the order. And you see the soldiers start coming out. And at first, you just see these people coming out of the building. Then the camera tightens in on them. And you're going, holy shit, they're all kids.
Yeah, it's a fucking 12-year-old.
Yeah, the oldest, I swear to God, the oldest had to have been 15.
Yeah, maybe.
The oldest had to have been 15. And they're just like, fuck. When then, all of a sudden, behind them, an SS officer comes out.
Isn't he in a sling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a sling. And that's when War Daddy asks Grandpa, is he the one who hanged those kids? And the old man just kind of looks at him and just real subtly just gives him the nod. And War Daddy's like, all I need to know. And then just kills him on sight.
Orders the guys just to shoot that guy.
Yeah, oh, that's right. He doesn't even do it. He's just like, who does he? He's like, Kunash, shoot that guy.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was one of the other soldiers.
But one of Fury's crew. He's
Yeah.
just like, kill him.
Yeah.
And they went, okay, bam.
Yeah, and on the advance to this moment is when we lose Scott Eastwood character.
No.
When that
R.I.P.
When they
He will be missed.
Yeah.
And definitely remembered.
Who?
Huh?
Yeah. No, when they had that machine gun in the basement and it cuts that one guy's leg off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that him?
No.
Oh.
No. No.
Oh, he wasn't even the memorable death.
It wasn't even the memorable death. He gets
okay.
killed at that moment.
What?
No.
What?
Never mind.
I'm fat and my shirt shrank in the wash and it rides up a little. So yes, I have to straighten it out over my pooch.
That's what I say too when I'm gaining a little weight. It's the wash is the problem.
Someone washed all my shit on high and it shrank every. Remember in the Santa Claus with Tim Allen? All my clothes, boom, big laundry fire, up in smoke. This sweatsuit's all I had.
No, I don't remember that movie. I try to put that out of my head.
Well, guess what? Because Christmas is coming, and I know what I'm getting you.
Oh, speaking of that, I was at the thrift store the other day.
How often are you at the thrift store?
At least twice a month.
No, for real. Why are you looking at my? Why are you mugging me?
I was just gonna ask how the donuts were, but
I will fucking kill you.
So no, I was at the thrift store the other day, and I saw a movie, and I almost bought it for you.
Okay.
Megamind. I saw that and I was like, ooh, that would be great. That and radio. Because I know how much you love radio.
Ed motherfucking Harris.
That's the best part of that whole movie.
See, some of us are aging flawlessly. And some of us look like death warmed over.
I'm 26. It's been rough.
Yeah, you're a 26-year-old from 1962 where they all look like 40-year-olds.
Absolutely. They were a different kind of men back then.
They age quick.
Hell yeah. That's what happens when you smoke cigarettes for breakfast.
Mom, what's for breakfast? Here you go.
Again? Oh!
I think that was Kunass's family.
Probably. They definitely smoked the unfiltered kind.
So, now, with the town under American occupation, we see the soldiers let off some steam. And this is also uncomfortable.
Very much.
Because basically they all somehow immediately get drunk and rowdy. Almost as if they were already drunk and were just waiting to get rowdy.
Yeah, I think they were taking little sips in the tank on the way up. But
and they're like looting and ransacking and
yeah. And then they go up to that apartment.
Well, no, we're not there yet, but they find miscellaneous women of the town and cahooting.
Yeah. What was Gordo had one,
Yeah.
and he's taking her to show the tank.
Right.
And they climb up on the tank. And that's when Coon-ass is like lifting her shirt or skirt up and feeling her ass as she's climbing it. I'm like, God.
Well, he also makes a comment, hey, remember, you do him and then you have to do me too. That's the way it works. I'm going, ugh.
Yeah. Little ick.
A lot of ick.
Yeah. And the sad thing is the people in this village were probably already dealing with that shit before we got there.
And now they're dealing with it from both sides of the war.
Yeah.
So War Daddy notices movement in a window and takes Norman, and they go up, and that's when they go to an apartment where they find two women.
Yes.
Emma
was one of them.
Emma was the younger one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if they said her name.
I don't think they did.
And so while there, War Daddy uncovers he's got a tin of eggs that he makes the older one cook so they can all have a nice meal. And he gets warm water so he can kind of like clean up. And Norman starts playing the piano, which sparks Emma's interest, and she begins singing along and whatever. And at some point, while the older woman is cooking, not that she's an older woman, but older than Emma.
Yeah. The oldest one.
The oldest one.
Yeah.
Warday just like looks at Norman and says, hey, she's a pretty clean young thing. You take her into that bedroom or I will.
Yeah.
Having heard this, apparently Emma all of a sudden learned enough English.
Oh, I'm sure she's heard it a lot.
Now I feel like I gotta like cover my shit. Tune in next week as Tevis and I take up jogging.
Jogging.
As we lose the weight. I can't even focus now. I'm like, the camera adds 10 pounds. You have 6 or 7 cameras pointed at me specifically. So I look extra chunky. And now you're living in my head right now, man. I can't even focus because I'm like, you struck me in my weakness, my self-consciousness about my physical form. I told myself I'd never be that guy. Then I became that guy. I'm now shirt in the pool guy because I cannot I'm so disgusted at what I've become. I can't even take my goddamn shirt off to go swimming with my kids at the public pool.
So speaking of shirtless men, how great did Brad Pitt look when he had his shirt?
Fuck you and fuck him. His handsome ass. F that. I hope God.
He reminds me of like our conversation about Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
Like, just give me one quality of that man.
Any of them.
Anyone
at random, and I'll be all right.
Absolutely. He's fucking handsome. He's charming. He looks good all scarred up. Even his back. Like, god damn.
So yeah, thanks for just making me useless the rest of this fucking episode.
You're welcome.
In the comments, argue with Tevis and explain how nice I look. Shut up! I need this. I need this. Help an old fat guy out. I am panicking live in front of you right now as I struggle with my body image like so many of us do.
And now to our sponsor, Slim Fast.
You're such a dick. You're so mean to me.
It comes in 3 great flavors: strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate.
And dick.
and dick.
We don't have a sponsor. No. You're going to get us in trouble. We have no sponsors. Obviously. Have you seen the show? Now, may I continue, please? Please.
We're at the dinner scene.
So Emma grabs Norman and she drags him back to the bedroom where they kind of talk a little bit, but ultimately our man does the deed.
He gets it done.
And what led to it is a little ick, but I don't necessarily feel ick about Norman and Emma because he doesn't like take her.
Yeah, he doesn't pounce on her as soon as the door closes.
Yeah, and nor does he like
she kind of takes the lead.
yes. But we see them like awkwardly sitting on the bed and he's trying to talk to her. And he's like, you don't know what to say. God, I wish I knew, you know, and it's awkward and it's kind of cute, but ultimately like there is an agreement reached,
Yes.
you know, and it's consensual. And you're like, there you go. Good for them. And well, but what I really like is when they come out, you definitely know they did the deed because they're just, you know, exchanging glances and smiles with each other. And at one point, you know, he's like, you know, your name, give me your, you know, so I can write you, give me your name and just where I can find, you know, Norman is smitten with his first.
Yes, he is. And it's nice.
It is nice. It's just cute and it's innocent.
Absolutely.
It's just young, innocent love in the middle of hell. And they begin eating dinner. But yes, we do see Brad Pitt's character kind of changing and cleaning up after the battle. And we see the burn scars?
Yes.
What? Yeah, burn scars.
Absolutely.
All up and down his back.
We learn about it
later.
There's a deleted scene that we learn about how he got those.
Okay.
And I've watched the deleted scene. I'm glad they deleted it. It felt a little weird because he kind of opens up to Norman and tells him his backstory.
I see what you did there.
I didn't even think about that.
Backstory.
Yeah, it was,
very good, Maui.
Thank you. But I don't think we needed it, and it felt very out of character for War Daddy to open up like that. But we didn't need it
because we it's alluded to at the end, which we'll get to.
Yeah,
and the ending I think is a better explanation of it.
Okay,
you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. I mean, he basically all but says it in a much better way.
Okay.
So dinner is crashed by Coon-ass, Gordo, and Bible.
They're a little drunk.
No, they're a lot of drunk.
They're a little angry.
They're a lot of angry.
Yeah.
They're also a lot of assholes.
They are. They've just been in the shit for so long.
Yeah.
They've kind of lost their humanity and dignity, and
it's at a certain point you genuinely wonder if these guys will be able to function in society again when they're done. Like when the war is over, Absolutely. Will they actually be able to acclimate back to normal life? And I don't know.
I don't. Yeah.
It's a genuine question that comes up. But like Coon-ass is sexually aggressive towards Emma. And they're all being unnecessarily aggressive and hostile to both women. Not even just like sexually, just in general. Just like, why are you being such a dick?
Yeah.
For no reason. These people did nothing.
There's a reason.
They're assholes.
And I understand their reasoning.
They weren't invited for dinner?
Yes. They felt like, hey, we've been with War Daddy through all of this shit. But the new guy gets invited to dinner and we don't. Mm-hmm. Like, who the fuck are we? They're just going about it all wrong.
But see, the way they're going about it is why they didn't get invited.
Exactly. But yeah, like Coon-ass like grabs the egg off of her plate and
just licks it and then puts it back. I didn't touch her.
Yeah. And man,
I just like how then War Daddy just enjoys like switch plates with me, and he takes her plate that Coon-ass licked, and then just starts eating it. And he's like, "You see, you fuckers."
Yeah, he's like, "I'm not going to let you guys ruin this for me."
That's what he says. I am not going to let you guys ruin this meal.
Yeah, he just wants some normalcy,
and that's really what it feels like from him. Is he's just looking for a quiet moment to feel like a human again.
Absolutely, that's what it is. And when these guys come in and crash it, you can just... This is really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
When they show up.
So now he's like, I'm not going to let you guys ruin this for me. To which Bible, not so much. Bible is hurt, but not being outwardly antagonistic. It's Gordo and Kunas.
Yes.
And Gordo tells a story. A story that he knows will both ruin the meal, but also specifically really dig at War Daddy.
Yes. The horses.
The horse story. And man, that's some uncomfortable shit.
From the moment they walk in, it's just, you could just feel like
The tension.
and it's really good. It's well done.
At any moment, you're waiting for any number of them to come to blows.
Absolutely. Or worse.
Yeah.
But after he tells that story, War Daddy has kind of had enough of it, and he puts his foot down, and I felt it. Like, I was like, oh shit, Daddy's mad.
Stop. I don't like that either.
I'm sorry. Dad's upset.
Is that worse?
Probably.
That might be worse.
Probably.
But anyway, but as soon as he really all right, the game is over. Do you remember what happens? Like the immediate reaction?
Was that Gordo?
I'm sorry. I just drunk. I'm sorry. And they all start to cry a little bit because they're reliving these horrible moments and they're all tired and now they're coming down from this emotional high. And it's like, I'm sorry. I just drunk. Like, I didn't mean it.
Yeah, they realized they pushed him to the limit.
Yeah.
And they knew they fucked up.
And also because they probably just went, oh, he's gonna kick my ass. We're gonna leave this apartment, and he's gonna kick the shit out of me.
Yes, he will.
And there's nothing I can do with it. I felt a little bit of that too.
I did too.
Like War Daddy runs his team through 3 key elements you want in a leader in equal measure: aptitude, respect, and fear.
Yeah.
Like, he's really good at his job. Everyone knows he's really good at his job, and they trust that. The way he leads from the front and is in the thick of it with his men and gets them through it, they respect him. But he doesn't tolerate any of their nonsense, and it'll reach a point where he will just throw them down into the mud and kick the shit out of them. And they're very, very afraid that will happen.
Absolutely. And I would be too. Shit. He can be aggressive as hell.
Yeah, but like, not coon-ass aggressive, like scary, quiet aggressive, like that silent intensity.
Kunas is like a bully.
Yeah.
But
especially towards Norman.
Once you push back, he's going to stop.
He's that kid who has to constantly test his boundaries.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
And he needs a good, hard response to really register when a boundary has been met.
War Daddy is like the mob boss. Once you get him pissed, it's like, oh God.
Someone is in real danger.
It's not this punk ass push around, lick eggs and be all like, hey, whoa, I didn't touch her. No, this is serious shit.
And you know what? I actually really like your comparison there. It's not like a disappointed parent or even an upset teacher or something like that. It's like a mob boss who he's got his guys and he knows his guys are good. But if they don't want to keep themselves in line, he will make an example to keep the rest of them in line.
Absolutely. 100%.
So the meal is over. They go outside, and then all of a sudden there's like a small artillery strike. And so they all button up, which is what they say when they all just like get in the tank and close all the hatches. They button up for safety. When a few shells hit, when they're done and all the soldiers are surveying the damage, they just look over and the apartment is obliterated. It is just a pile of bricks. And Norman starts sprinting over, yelling for Emma, and then finds her corpse in the bricks. Not even rubble. She's just buried under fucking bricks.
Yeah.
And that's when and then it's Kunas, I think,
absolutely.
Who's like, I'll go get him. Well, you think you're gonna fucking marry her? Whatever he says. And then basically half Nelson's him, gets him in the half Nelson, like drags him away, like talking shit the whole time. I'm just going,
And Norman
God.
is fucking devastated.
Yeah. He
And
liked her.
This,
and I think she liked him.
Oh yeah, I agree. But this shocked the shit out of me. Like we've met Emma like 10 minutes ago, if that. And their interaction was what, 5 minutes
on screen? Yeah, about.
And the way he reacts to her death and the reaction that Kunas gives, man, it kind of hit me.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, this is like good shit.
Yeah.
It's
their reactions. My reaction, I felt more seeing Emma's body under those bricks than I have felt for entire main characters in movies we have
That's
watched.
what I put in my notes. Like, I felt more for Emma than I did for any character in the Iron Claw.
Yeah.
Like, and how is that a thing? Like, we've met her like for 8 minutes.
But we get a lot. We see her afraid. We see her brave. We see her when Norman starts playing the piano, and we see her. She's taken back for a second because she was not expecting some rough, tough soldier to be able to beautifully play the piano. And then she's kind of shy and vulnerable and begins to sing with his playing. And it's such a sweet moment where they connect. We connect with both of them. And then, Warday says what he says. She grabs him. And then we see them, not the deed, but that kind of awkward teenage first time, the small talk leading up to, and then just the cute little glances they exchange after the fact. Like, we get so much fantastic character work from her.
It's great. It's done very, very well.
And then it also, I don't know if we talk about this enough either, but like at this moment, I like Norman the most out of everybody in this movie because he's the only one who's not a giant jerk off, right? Like, you like War Daddy, but like Norman's the one you empathize with.
Yeah, Norman's us.
Exactly. Norman is the audience character.
Yes.
That's why he's our genuine protagonist. But we like Emma even more based off the interactions she has with Norman. If Logan Lerman, if his performance was lesser than what it was, like let's just say he was just really bad or phoning it in or something, and he wasn't reciprocating that energy and that talent, those glances, the shyness, the whatever, then those moments fall flat and we lose that empathy for Emma.
Oh, 100%. I agree. 100%.
And so it's not just a one-person show either. It's so good.
Yeah, it's well written, it's well acted, it's well directed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was honestly shocked as shit how I felt seeing her there and his reaction to it. I was like, damn, this war movie's got me like on the verge of tears. And then you also have that dynamic of Norman, who is just crushed, and then you have Kunas, who's like, who gives a shit? His attitude towards he's almost mocking Norman for having feelings for this woman.
Okay, let's take it a step farther, or bear with me as I attempt to.
Okay.
Is he mocking Norman for having feelings for her because they had sex? Or is it worse than that? Is Kunas mocking Norman for having feelings about witnessing someone die? Is Kunas so decent? Which the answer is yes, right? But is this moment Kunas is so desensitized to all of it that it's not partly yes, mocking Norman. You think she loved you, blah blah blah. Grow up. But is it also like, really, dude? You're gonna react to someone dying?
and not even just someone. I think it's Kunas just sees her as a German
That could very well be too.
because he does have feelings for when his buddy was killed. You kind of see a little bit of feeling there at the beginning of the movie, but here I think he just sees her, and maybe it's just he sees her as a German and also just a woman, and it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But also too, I think what you said with him being desensitized to all of it.
He doesn't see her as a woman. Like, he sees her biologically as a woman, as in he can use her as a man,
Right.
but does not see her as a woman, as in a person, a human being.
I agree. Yes.
That's just been beaten out of him through the trials and tribulations of war.
Yeah.
So I think his mockery of Norman goes beyond Norman displaying like he had feelings for her. I think it's Norman has feelings. What's wrong with this kid?
Yeah. I agree with that.
Look at us analyzing shit.
Holy crap. It's like we've done this before.
I'm still waiting for when we do it well.
Well, we'll get there.
So the battalion I'm tongue-tied, I'm fat, I'm tired. My wife is texting me hurtful things.
What did she say? Respond to me, fatty. Is that what she said?
She might as well have.
Oh.
I'm all right.
Okay.
Totally fine. Totally fine. Well, this town is taken, but war doesn't stop, and now there's another town that needs to be taken. And so they're on the move.
This is when War Daddy and Norman are sitting on top of the tank. And he's like, War Daddy's like, look at that. And he looks in the distance, you just see that nothing but smoke. And he's like, that is a city on fire.
That is the image of an entire city on fire.
Yeah. And it's at this moment where in the deleted scene, it's where he talks about his back, how he got his back scar, why he got shipped to Germany or to the war. He had he was dating a woman. Her name was Rose. And she treated him like a king. But he drank a lot. And he was in her dad's pickup truck. They went to a dance. And he's like, my little brother went with us. So I went to a dance. He goes, I got stinking drunk on 2 bottles of, I think he called it like nickel wine or nickel whiskey or something like that. Got into a fisticuff with a big Indian, and the cops got called. The sheriff was on his way. So he's like, I got Rose and my little brother in the pickup truck, and we tore ass out of there and got into a wreck. He says, I was thrown from the vehicle. The motor was basically laying on my back, and the other 2 didn't make it. So we get the explanation of his back, which I don't think we really need.
No, and again, later in the movie, it makes allusions to how he may have gotten those scars, and it's a lot better than what that story is.
Yeah. When I watched it, I was like, this doesn't feel... It's almost like in Saving Private Ryan with Tom Hanks's character, how he comes forward and tells the entire team about his life before the war. It felt like as if he would have just told that story to Matt Damon.
Yeah.
And it would have been like, you just left all your war buddies out of the story. It felt weird. It just felt off.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm glad they deleted it.
So after the city is on fire, the 4 remaining tanks encounter one of their worst nightmares. Across the field opposite them, a German Panzer. Oh, I'm sorry.
Tiger
it's
tank.
a Tiger.
Yeah. This was so damn
The
cool.
Tiger tank, yeah. And it's a 4-on-1, and the Americans are really unsure of how this is going to end.
Damn, this was well done.
You feel the tension.
Even with 4-on-1, I was like, this should be a walk in the park.
Mhm.
But it shows right away, nope. And man, it's so damn cool.
Yeah.
There was a moment where I for some reason I remembered it, but I remembered it differently.
Okay.
The beheading. Do you remember when one of the captains or the
I don't remember a beheading. I do remember an entire torso exploding.
there was a moment where one of the drivers or the tank operators who's, War Daddy's job got his head completely ripped off by one of the cannon shots.
Yeah.
I remember that, but I remember it where it was in my head, it was kind of cartoonish.
Yeah.
Where you have this straight on shot of him and he's talking and then all of a sudden his head just explodes. And I kind of got cringy, but then it happened the way it happened. It was a really awesome shot.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, thank God that's not the way it happened. It felt in my head, I was like, oh, this is so stupid.
You had, for whatever reason, that conflated with some other.
Yeah, it did. I don't know where it came from, but I was so worried. But now this whole battle here is tense. It is so damn good.
So we get some tank on tank combat, where the Tiger is ultimately finished off, dispatched, taken out.
Not after taking.
And it takes out 3 of the 4 tanks.
3 of the 4.
Leaving only Fury to move on with its mission.
Yeah, and its radio is 86th.
Because they took a small hit.
They did.
And so at this point, though, I was like, wait, would a lone tank really push on to the objective by themselves with no reinforcement and no way to communicate the situation or the need for, like, this felt a little Hollywood to me.
A little bit, but I understand it with War Daddy's perspective.
Yeah.
So.
But their goal is to make it to the crossroads, and to hold that ground until the rest of the troops show up.
Correct.
Well, they make it to that crossroads. There's like a barn or something nearby, and Norman and Kunas go check it out. Come to find out, it's an abandoned German aid station, just full of dead, formerly wounded soldiers. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but why do they stop?
Oh, in the barn?
Why do they stop the tank?
Oh, they stop the tank. That's right, because they run over a landmine and it blows the tread.
Yeah, this was really cool.
And so now they're like, can we fix it? Well, I mean, it's going to take a while, but yeah, sure. Why the hell not? We'll try.
I looked at that. I was like, how the hell are you going to fix that?
How do you, let me get the jack.
Yeah.
Get
the spare out of the back. Oh, it's a donut. Son of a bitch.
It's a really thin tread that you can only go like a mile an hour on.
Fucking pizza cutter. Oh.
It looks like an ice skate on the tank.
You know, I'm old enough to remember when spare tires were actually fucking tires. Yeah.
Well, most of us just replace our donut with a full tire, like you're supposed to.
Yeah, but back in the day, you didn't have to. You just had the spare, and the spare was an actual tire.
Well, there was also a point in time when your car was made out of solid steel and could withstand impact instead of just folding like a house of cards. We don't live in those days anymore.
That's true.
Is it Back to the Future 2 where they're flying? Young Biff has the sports Beckett. And
sports what?
The sports, the Beckett.
The almanac?
Almanac,
yeah.
Yes. And Marty's just like, just land on him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when Doc's like, are you kidding? We're in a DeLorean. He's in a 1950 whatever Chevy. Yeah. It's made of solid steel. He'll tear us to shreds.
Exactly.
Most of our car is aluminum.
Yeah. It would look like a Panzer tank going over some bitch.
Yeah, it would have looked like 4 Shermans versus a Tiger or whatever the Fury tank is.
Absolutely.
I'm not old enough as an American male to have gotten that heavily invested in World War yet, so I'm not. I don't know all of my tanks purely on sight yet. I have a few years.
You got it. Yeah, it'll get there.
So Kunas has a nice little heart-to-heart with Norman while they're in the aid station.
And yes, they are Sherman tanks.
Oh, boom! I got one. And he just kind of Kunas just lets Norman
Snurfing.
I'm struggling.
You all right?
No, I'm fat and I'm tired.
It's all that cholesterol just rolling around and
it's gone to my brain. I'm just gonna let you finish. That's what she said.
That's what Emma said. What are you doing? What are we doing?
I'm just gonna let you talk.
Where are we at?
Kunas and Norman have a heart-to-heart in the aid station.
Oh, yeah.
We finally get the one kind moment from Kunas where he's not a raging dick.
Yeah, and it seems a little difficult for him.
Yeah.
But he manages. He's basically saying that Norman's a good guy and they're not.
That's why he's like, hey, I just want you to know, like, I think you're a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they go out. They're working on fixing the tank. Norman gets sent on scouting duty where he just hides in the trees, keeps an eye on the road to make sure nobody gets the drop on him. When all of a sudden he sees dozens.
Yeah.
Do they give a number? 200 or 300
he
maybe?
says 200 or 300, but yeah, I like you could kind of hear them a little bit, and he's trying to eat an MRE, and he's like, what the hell is that? And he gets up and he looks, and you don't see them at all. You just see his face, and he's like, holy shit.
Then you see him just booking it down the field, like Tevis and I will be doing tomorrow morning.
I will be watching you book it down the field. Yeah.
I don't need a coach. I need a partner.
I'll be alongside you in my Segway.
Put him up, put him down. Come on. Pick him up. Norman makes it back to the others, and they're like, what's wrong? He's like, there's so many Germans coming. And they're like, well, how many? 200 or 300. They were marching, and they were singing, and they look excited for a fight. And that's when they're like, well, they're probably just getting ready to surrender. And Norman's like, I don't know. No, they're not.
And that's what War Daddy says. That's a damn SS battalion.
It's an SS battalion.
Yeah. And he's like, oh man, they're all freaking out like, shit, get your gear. Let's go.
Oh yeah, it's done. They're going.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have a working tank. It's working, but it's immobile. Yeah. Because they haven't had enough time to fix it. And they're just wanting to skin the hell out of there.
Yeah. And I don't blame them.
But War Daddy's not doing it.
Do you think he would have if it had been anything other than SS?
So I was thinking about that. I don't know. I think he probably would have just said hell with it and stayed. Because he's all about it. Like, that was his reason to live, basically, was to kill Nazis. But he tells everybody else to get going. And he's going to stay. And it's fine. He's trying to reassure them multiple times. It's fine. Just go.
And I think he's genuine.
Oh, no, he's genuine. I believe he's genuine.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he would have expected them to stay. And how do you give that order?
Right. The we're going to stand here and die order.
Yeah. But Norman steps up.
Yep. If War Daddy stays, I'm staying, and then everybody stays. So now they're getting all their ammo together, their grenades, everything they've got. And they kind of got a plan where it's like the tank kind of is formed into like a bunker, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, they're hunkered down, ready to go. War Daddy breaks out the bottle.
Yep, they all start drinking.
I like this moment
I like
a lot.
So they start drinking and they're just getting ready, and Norman takes that big swig, and that's when Kunas is like, God damn, Norman, you're some kind of fighting fucking drinking machine.
Yeah,
And they're like, there it is.
That's it.
There's your war name, your machine.
Yeah,
I liked that a lot.
I did too. And I like War Daddy and Bible, I think, have been together the longest.
I think they've all been.
But I think they have a better bond than the rest of them.
Well, because the other two are just belligerent assholes.
Well, that's true. But Bible, he quotes a verse from the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when War Daddy tells him what the quote is, where it's from.
Yeah.
What, verse,
Chapter
and verse. And the look that Bible gives him, it's like, God damn, man, you're so full of surprises. Like,
you know what it reminded me of is the remake of Magnificent Seven, when Vincent D'Onofrio's character learns that the Native American knows English. He's like, wait a minute, get your ass back here. We got a lot to talk about. You don't just walk away.
Yeah. That's such a good movie.
It's okay.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. But no, this whole bonding moment, man, this was so good. And I'm sorry, fucking Shia LaBeouf kills it.
He's fine.
He is. I've seen a few things that he's done, and I'm like you, I'm not a big fan, but man, I really like him in this.
Mm-hmm.
He does a really good job as this character.
If only he could act.
He's just not my cup of tea.
Method acting to me is not acting.
It's yeah.
But regardless, we're not going down that rabbit hole. Now,
Final stand.
The Germans arrive and all hell breaks loose.
I really enjoyed this.
Norman's able to shoot his gun.
Yes, he is. As he's doing, he's like, fucking Nazis.
Yeah.
Die, you fuckers.
It did come off a little bit like a teenager being able to swear in front of his parents.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I agree.
A little, yeah. You know what it made me think of is Beavis and Butthead when Beavis gets real worked up.
Okay.
And that's just kind of what it made me think of. We're like, yeah, fucking Nazi, eat it, yeah, yeah, eat it, you fucking Nazi, yeah.
Now I can't unsee that. Thank you.
He goes full Beavis.
Yes, he does.
And, I mean, they're shooting their cannon, their machine guns.
Throwing grenades
out the hatches, using their actual rifles and guns.
They're putting a dent in this group.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the Germans are able to completely surround the tank. And eventually an anti-tank round hits Fury, goes through the back, and punches a uncomfortably sized hole through John Bernthal.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna recover.
I mean, you're gonna need a really big Band-Aid.
Big Band-Aid. And knowing what I knew about the movie, watching it the second time, this still kind of shocked me.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them did, honestly.
Yeah.
But did you notice that the order that they all climb onto the tank after War Daddy said that he is staying? It's Norman gets on first, then it's Bible, then it's Gordo, and then Kunas.
So they get in the reverse order they die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I noticed that. I watched it for the second time for the show again, just to kind of get a refresher. But yeah, I can notice that.
So Kunas takes one in the chest. Fighting continues. Gordo is chucking grenades, and he pops out of his hatch. He's going to throw one where he takes the machine gun fire and falls back in the tank, but dropped the grenade he was holding. Norman sees it, yells grenade so everyone can get ready. Gordo has enough sense to grab it and then just curl it into his chest and lean away from everybody. And boom.
Brutal.
He's done.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Damn. But what a guy.
You know, to be fair, though, it was his grenade.
No, I agree. Yeah, but he could have just been like, "Oh, where'd that come from?"
Yeah, but he was screwed anyway.
That's true. That's true.
It was right here next to him.
Yeah, I agree.
Then, what was it? They needed ammo, and Bible pops his head up out of the tank to grab some, and immediately, or was he feeding ammo to War Daddy?
Well, they ran out of ammo, so they got out of the tank. But there's a moment where Bible is on the ground searching
for another gun
for dead bodies, when one of them pops up and starts to fight him, and it's like from before, where that's not a dead body. He was just fucking playing dead.
Or got knocked over and was coming to his senses, or
Yeah, so it's like, shoot the bodies. But yeah, he can't get a gun, so he gets back up into the tank, and he pops up out to say something to...
I think he's trying to So at this point, War Daddy is outside the tank on the mounted machine gun.
Yes, that's right.
And I think he's going to give War Daddy grenades or something.
I think you're right.
Takes a bullet in the eye.
Yeah.
And boom, down.
And quick.
Fighting continues, so now it's just War Daddy and Machine, when there's a German sniper who puts 2 or 3 into War Daddy.
Yeah.
And he slumps into the tank, and they're all buttoned up. And
there's a moment here where I got worried, because you see that sniper just crawling across the ground. He's got a mask on. He's pretty well camouflaged.
Yeah.
But he takes that one shot, and then he lifts up his mask. And part of me was like, are they going to do like a reveal that this was a character from before that we should have known? It felt like that for a minute. It's like Jason Isaacs. You know?
Come to find out, he only pretended to rip all the patches off his Nazi jacket.
But yeah, so I
believe it was just that guy realized he was in enough cover and needed to see what he was doing.
Yeah, it just worried me for a minute. But
so in the tank, this is the part I was talking about, not knowing about the deleted scene in the backstory. Machine's talking about, I'm scared, and War Daddy, I am too. I want to surrender. And War Daddy says, please don't.
Yeah.
Because if they capture you, they're going to hurt you bad. And then when they're done, they're going to kill you. And it's going to be bad. And the way the line is delivered, and in that moment, like, how does he know that they'll hurt Norman in a really bad way? He was there.
That's kind of...
Or at least that is, again, the illusion that I took from it, is we saw the scarring, and it's a war movie. You see those kinds of injuries, and you think that's torture.
Right.
Of some kind. Maybe War Daddy was on the receiving end of something. I don't know. But then when he just tells Norman, like, please don't, because they're going to hurt you bad.
Yeah.
And you're going, I
honestly, I like that way better.
And with that one scene deleted, there's no reason to not. There's nothing to contradict that thought.
Right.
So that's where there we go. That's where I'm planting my flag. I'm standing there.
That's great. And
is at some point in the field, maybe War Daddy did get captured.
I'm all right with that.
At least long enough to get tortured.
Yeah, and it kind of shows that you don't need to explain everything.
No.
Like, I don't need the backstory of every single scar it's almost like the MCU right now. It's like every single character that they have in a movie, they have to spin off into a Disney Plus TV show. And like, No, nobody fucking cares about Echo.
Who?
Exactly.
Wait, is that a thing?
Mhm.
I'm so out of the loop because I just don't care anymore.
Yeah, it's getting really ridiculous, but I think they're pulling back on it. They kind of realize that they fucked up,
Yeah.
so they're backpedaling a little bit.
Well, we can get into what I think they should have done with the MCU, but honestly, that could be a whole episode by itself.
We'll do that
because obviously we know what we're talking about.
Hell yes.
What
are we talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So Norman, he's like, I just want to leave. He's like, there's a way out. There's a hatch.
The hatch.
Take it and hide, and then run. It's fine. And Norman, 2 German grenades drop into the tank. Norman makes it out of the hatch, and they're like right in War Daddy's lap.
Yeah.
And then he gets the hatch closed. Norman's hiding under the tank, and you just hear boom, boom from inside the tank. And I just went, "Oh my god!"
That was one issue I had, but it's a big nitpick. It's just
how long those grenades lasted.
It was worse than Die Hard 2.
Yeah,
but actually, probably not worse than Die Hard 2. Let me change that. But again, I'm just nitpicking.
Yeah,
but it's a Hollywood story, so it's fine.
Yeah, apparently Norman really needed to see those grenades drop in.
Yeah.
But now he's like Norman's trying to cover himself with dirt, trying to hide. The Germans win, and one of them checks under the tank with a flashlight and sees Norman there. They make eye contact. Norman puts his hands up, and I think this German sees a scared boy.
That is the German Norman.
That's how I saw it too.
Yeah.
And he saw they were the opposite ends of the same coin.
Absolutely.
And that soldier says nothing. Yep, checked it, clear.
Yeah.
And they just leave. And Norman, when the coast is clear, he climbs back in the tank for safety. Kind of puts his jacket over War Daddy's face, kind of saying goodbye, when all of a sudden he hears more footsteps and he hears people climbing on top of the tank, and he gets War Daddy's gun.
With the picture. Did you notice the picture?
I did notice the picture, yeah.
That was his rose.
Yep.
Yeah, on the handle.
And the hatch opens, and it's one of the infantrymen we saw earlier in the movie. It's like, relax, kid.
That was the guy who killed the German that hung the kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And they get out, and he's like, Norman, you're a hero, kid. And he's like, here, one of the mechs, I'll take that gun for, or not. You just hold on to that, because Norman is not letting that gun go for nothing.
Nope.
And he's rescued. He's saved. And then the camera kind of zooms in on him and kind of pulls up over him, and then starts to pan out. And you just see the pile of bodies in all directions around Fury. And you're really starting to get an idea of just how much work they got done. Because they probably wrecked that battalion enough that when it finally met up with the oncoming American reinforcements, there weren't enough of them to put up any kind of resistance.
Oh, yeah. I agree. That's why that one soldier said, you're a hero, I think.
And roll credits.
So I noticed something, and I want your opinion on this.
Wait, are you pulling up a clip right now?
No, I'm just pulling up a picture I took.
Oh, okay.
I noticed this, and I don't know what it means, but I feel like it has to mean something. So the final shot of the movie is an overhead shot of the tank. And you see the path that all the soldiers and everything has been going around the tank.
Mm-hmm.
And it resembles an eye.
Okay. Sure.
And I looked everywhere that I could think of on the internet as to what that could have possibly meant. And one of the things that kept coming up was the Eye of War.
I'm unfamiliar with that term.
And the Eye of War is like how we've... went from the spyglass on ships to periscopes to binoculars to sniper rifles, how we see in war. But I don't think that's what it would represent. I'm curious as to what your thought of it is, or if I'm just looking into it like an old man staring at the clouds, seeing, turtles.
So I'm not looking into it that deeply. I don't know if that Eye of War thing makes sense as it pertains to the image that you are showing, right? Because you know what? We got the comment section. Let us know what you think it is, or if the director, if somebody has an answer, let us know. Because we love that stuff.
One of the other things I found was it could be loss and emptiness. Like the hollowed out tank as an eye could also evoke a sense of loss and emptiness left behind by this destruction of war.
Okay.
But I don't see how the eye represents that. I don't know.
Okay, could it be something deep and metaphorical and all of that? Yeah. That all seems reachy to me.
That's what I thought too.
I think the fact that it kind of looks like an eye is coincidental. What I see is our tank, Fury, smack dab in the middle of the literal crossroads that they were going to hold at all cost. And during the fight, it's dark and there's smoke and the blood and the dirt and the water. You can't really see what's going on. You just see action. And it's pulling back, and now you're actually getting a small sample size of the amount of devastation that they were able to pull off. Right there in the heart of the crossroads. I have no metaphorical, deep, analytical nothing for this. I got nothing. Okay. I don't see it. I'm clear. I'm probably missing something.
Okay. Obviously, I'm either looking way too much into it because I didn't find a whole lot of good information.
Yeah.
But I don't know. In my head, I'm like, that's got to mean something.
And it very well might, but I don't know. I'm not well versed enough to give an answer on that.
Yeah, me either.
I can tell you what I literally see and what I think the literal image means. You want to go deeper than that? Not your guy.
Okay. So we're there.
We're there. Ratings time. IMDb gives Fury a 7.6 out of 10. And Rotten Tomatoes with a 76% for a grand total of 152.
Okay. A little low.
Put this movie at like an 82.
That's kind of where I'm
83.
At. Yeah.
Ratings.
What did LA Times? What do you got?
Ebert.
Ebs. Is it Ebert or Ebert.com?
Ebert.com.
Oh, man.
Well, fresh from The Guardian. With its trench mud palette and limb-mangling splatter aesthetic, Fury takes no prisoners in terms of graphic detail. 3 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Ebert.com.
They're definitely right about the graphic part.
And let's face it, the mud palette.
Oh, absolutely.
This movie had one color. It was dirt. Ebert.com. It just sort of lumbers along without ever generating a real sense of interest in what is happening on the screen. 2 stars.
This is Ebert.com?
Ebert.com.
Okay. Well, go fuck yourself. With that 2 stars.
Where do you put it?
Out of 4?
Yeah.
I would say 3.
You think a full 3?
Yeah.
I'll go 2.5.
No, I'd say 3.
I really got to think about that.
Okay.
I do. Now, before we get to final thoughts or our awards, I said I'd bring this up because we had mentioned Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, yes.
I want to pick your brain. And again, in the comments, I want to pick the viewer/listeners' brains on what you guys think. So, to me, okay, picture, if you will,
Is this the Twilight Zone?
Huh?
Is this the Twilight Zone? Picture, if you will,
a
man trapped in a library with broken glasses.
He wasn't trapped in a library. He had built like a throne.
I don't know.
The Simpsons do a fantastic parody of that. There's a little little treehouse of horrors, and Homer falls into the bomb shelter, and the apocalypse happens, and he
Okay.
comes out, everything's gone, and he ends up, he could do whatever he wants, so he just sleeps and eats and drinks, and he builds like the throne of pies, like pie boxes and stuff, and he goes to eat the first pie, and his fork breaks. No, it's not fair.
Why would he use a fork? Dumbass.
Also, that episode of The Twilight Zone, do you know the actor who portrays the character you're talking about?
I don't know.
Burgess Meredith.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, the guy who breaks his glasses, and he's the last man, and he has all the time in the world to just read and do what he wants to do, finally, and his glasses break. Burgess Meredith.
Nice.
Getting back on topic.
Okay.
Imagine, if you will, let's go back in time to black and white John Wayne era of cinema.
Do we have to?
Like The Longest Day kind of stuff.
Okay.
Where war movies still painted in a very romanticized, glamorous light. Am I fair in saying this?
Yeah, they kind of did their fair share of.
I mean, if you go back even farther, what I'm talking about is even worse. But we're still in an era where it's pretty glamored up.
Okay.
Then Saving Private Ryan comes along, which I think a lot of people, when they look at that movie, kind of give it the claim of being the first true American war movie to try to showcase the horrors of war. And
I'd agree with that.
a lot of people give Saving Private Ryan that credit.
Okay.
And now we're in this post Saving Private Ryan world where Fury's not the first to do it since Saving Private Ryan. It won't be the last, but it is, I don't know. I felt Saving Private Ryan's shadow on this movie.
Oh, yeah.
In the sense that it feels like they're trying to depict the horrors of war and up the ante.
I agree.
And in doing so, we get moments that feel slightly cartoonish. And I don't necessarily mean the violence, although the Star Wars laser show is a good example, but even just like how the way the American soldiers behave in that town and the way they treat each other, the way they treat the German citizens, it just reaches a point where it's like, I got it, but are you going to have your coon asses? Yes, but you cannot tell me every single soldier there was that way, like it is depicted in this movie. This movie has 2.5 people depicted as not this. The lieutenant who dies because he was too prissy to do anything. Norman, who was too innocent to do anything. And apparently War Daddy, as long as he wasn't having that rough a day. Because in his own words, Norman, if you do not take her to that bedroom, I will. Which tells me he's done his fair share of debauchery, so we'll give him a 0.5 point. I got it. These guys are bastards, but like, damn.
Yeah, and there were moments too with the violence that I kind of felt the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's that body that was just laying in the road that all the tanks just kept running over. Do you remember that?
I liked that one.
I liked that, but it felt like it almost felt like he was going to roll up and pop himself out, kind of like Dr. Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You know what I'm talking about?
Dr. Doom.
Was it Dr. No, what was his name?
Are you talking about Christopher Lloyd's character,
Yeah,
the professor?
Yeah, what was his name?
I don't know.
But anyway,
Do you have any idea how long it's been since I've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I watched it yesterday. No, I didn't.
Good for you.
Um,
I love me some Bob Hoskins.
But there's that one, and there's when the tanks are going across the field, the tank smashes one of the guys in the trenches.
And you see his head explode?
Yeah. And the beheading of that one tank operator by the cannon.
Yeah. Or you see the lieutenant on fire. You're seeing his skin burn away, but he gets it enough control to pull his gun, and while he's screaming, offs himself and puts him out of his own, and you're just going, seriously? Or no one would have intervened when War Daddy has Norman in a chokehold, forcing him to kill a prisoner of war.
I give you that, yeah.
There just are moments that, and I don't think that it was necessarily a conscious effort of like, we're going to one-up Saving Private Ryan, but it's just the natural escalation of things that I'm hoping will level out at some point. Because there were moments that, to me, take it to a level where you're just going, all right, I'm getting it, guys.
Well, this movie, too, doesn't have what Saving Private Ryan had. Saving Private Ryan had like a sense of hope, kind of, because they were on a mission to rescue somebody to get him out of the war. This doesn't really have that light at the end of the tunnel. Like, what's their end goal? It's just to keep going and keep killing and keep taking over towns. And
I don't know if this is a conscious decision or if it's just maybe a hint of weak writing, but it's like, we don't even know the name of the town they take. They never say it. And then it's just like, I think
that's intentional.
Go to unnamed crossroads. Like, it's all just, after a while, it doesn't matter because there's always another one and there's always another one.
That's the point.
Which it's fine. I get it. But it also then there's a natural, you're showing how it never ends and it just keeps on going. So it doesn't matter. But guess what? If it doesn't matter, I don't care either.
I don't think it doesn't matter. I think it's more of, it's just the routine, all that, it matters. It matters a lot. But it's just that mentality of, here we go again.
Right, but without a clear goal, we have to find Private James Francis Ryan and get him the hell out of there. We need to blow up the Death Star. We need to destroy the Ring of Power. We need to find the Ark of the Covenant. We need to win Scotland's freedom, even if you want to go big and abstract. But we have something. Yeah. We know what the fight is for.
We have to win this dodgeball game.
We have to win. We have to beat the Russians at the Olympics. That's right. You can dodge a wrench. We need to get our feeble public access cable show back on the air.
Yes.
Get our friends with us again, and then maybe score a record deal for our girlfriend.
Absolutely.
But without a clear name, defined goal, we are at point A. We are going to point B.
I see what you mean, yeah.
It's not that you don't care about the movie, but you're just like, okay. Like you said, there's no hope, but there's also no like, what am I rooting for? Is the crossroads the goal, or is that just kind of where we ended up? Did we make it? Did we not make it? What are we doing?
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Saving Private Ryan. The goal was to find Ryan. So location is irrelevant. Our goal is a person. So we find him. But he's with like 6 other guys. And their job is to hold this last standing bridge. And so now our movie arcing goal of finding Ryan then simultaneously gets tied into a desperate struggle to hold a bridge, because that's golden real estate, and it all combines, and now it all makes more sense because we got to hold the bridge for the war effort, but also Ryan, our goal, is wrapped up in that. If that bridge falls, that means he's probably dead too. And it all kind of, so at the end, Ryan's alive and the bridge is held, and it's very sad, but we can also breathe that sigh of relief because mission accomplished, even as we are emotionally dealing with the price that was paid for that win. Fury doesn't feel like there's a win because there is no 100% defined goal. So is that a conscious choice? Very possibly. But there's a natural checks and balances with these kinds of things. If that's your intent of there's always another. So it all just kind of, the details become hazy and less important in the minds of our characters because they've heard it 1,000 times. Cool. But then we also, as the audience, feel the same lackadaisical way about the end goal, if we even know what it is.
That's fair. I see that.
So I don't know. There were moments where I was like, it's just that everyone trying to, whether they realize it or not, they're fighting the shadow of Saving Private Ryan. That's where we're at in the era of war movies.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be that shadow is going to be over everything for a long time.
Probably. But I just, in the immortal words of Leo Getz, it doesn't mean it's better. It just means that it was different.
Wow.
We don't need something to climb out of the shadow of Saving Private Ryan. We don't need to constantly one up and up the ante and keep going. We just need to do something different. It's not better. It's not worse. It's just different.
I agree with that.
So I don't know.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? Other than, I get that. Or is that your thoughts?
No, I think, the way you put it, I didn't really think of it that way. Because you're right. We don't have, and even when they got to that crossroad, I was even like, is this where they were supposed to be?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't even really think of that until you brought it up. But it's okay. That does kind of affect how I feel about the movie.
Yeah.
Thanks for fucking ruining that.
Welcome to Ticket Price. This is what we do. Do. This is what we do. Do.
Jiggling.
This is the meanest you have ever been to me.
The facial expression. It was so hurtful. I'm so sorry.
You're not, though!
I am.
I am going to go upstairs and clog your toilet. I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to leave.
Wouldn't be the first time that toilet's been clogged.
I take famously huge dumps. All right. Awards time.
Awards.
I'm not going to lie. I don't have much.
Yeah, I have a couple.
I give my Shelley Duvall award to Shia. He's fine.
How dare you?
He's totally fine.
I don't have a Shelley Duvall.
He's fine.
Actually, now I'm going to give it to the story. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
You can do that. I have two for the Roger Murtaugh Award, and it's War Daddy and Captain Jason Isaacs. Because they just feel like, whatever, we're doing it again.
I picked War Daddy at the dinner table.
Too old for this shit.
Yeah.
I don't really have a Morpheus.
No, I don't.
But I do have a Maximus Award for Best Line.
Okay.
And we did not mention it while we talked about the movie. I purposely just kind of moved past it.
Okay.
War Daddy's talking to Norman and hits him with the line, "Ideals are peaceful. History is violent." And I loved that a lot.
That's a good line. That's better than mine. Mine was War Daddy is talking to Norman. That's home. Do as you're told. Don't get too close to anyone.
I think I win. I think mine's better than
yours. I think yours is better.
Because it's when I think it was either right before or maybe right after they kill the captured German. And he's like, because he's just trying to get through to Norman that like he's gonna get himself and everyone else in that tank killed.
Yeah.
He's like, ideals are peaceful. History is violent. He is not in a moment in time or place to have the luxury of having ideals.
I have a McCready Award.
This movie had a hat.
Bernthal's helmet.
Oh, he's got that like leather skull cap.
But it looks like one of the helmets that they use to treat the shape of babies' heads. It's terrible.
You know what? I totally forgot about that.
It's so bad.
Yeah, absolutely. That's McCready's hat level hat.
That's the only awards I got.
Best part?
I went back and forth on this. I had the Tiger Tank battle, but then I changed it to that moment that they have are getting ready for the final battle of just them in the tank having a drink and just that camaraderie. That is my favorite part of this.
Nice.
What about you?
It's the Tiger Tank fight. But the whole thing, because you see their camaraderie, but also the panic of them trying to work together to beat a stronger, more deadly adversary. Just that whole sequence. But I do want to give an honorable mention to that scene where they hear the planes and everyone looks up and the sky is just streaked with planes.
So damn good.
And then you see the German planes come. They see they're outnumbered and they turn around. That what isn't War Day? Like, give them hell, boys. Yeah. Keep dropping them or whatever he says.
It was a little excessive when they made that cartoon whoop, 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 whoop sound when the planes turn around.
No, disagree.
No, that was a good part.
But just the idea, and that's something that visually, I've never seen a movie kind of do a scene like that before. And it's something like, I know what a plane looks like going through the air. So like, I can kind of picture it, but it's still done in such a scale that at the same time I can't.
That would be just horrifying.
Yeah.
Even if that's your guys up there, like just the sky filled. No. So that's a good one.
Yeah. So honorable mention, that is a great shot.
Worst part?
I don't have a worst part in the sense of there was any scene or moment in this movie that I felt was like bad, out of place, low quality. So this is more of just like it makes me cringe and I wish it would stop. And it's the dinner scene or the lunch or what. It's the meal.
That's exactly what I have. And that's the exact same reason why.
Yeah, it's not, the quality is top notch.
There's not a bad moment in this.
No. Because if there was something subpar quality, I'd dive on that shit like a starving man on a sandwich. I love it.
Like Gordo on a grenade.
That's it.
Oh. Too soon. But no, I racked my brain on this and I came to the final conclusion, kind of like you. I was like, the reason why it's the worst is because of how it made me feel.
Yes.
Like I was uncomfortable. I was on my couch with a bowl of popcorn, kicked back, relaxed as hell, and this made me uncomfortable. I sat up and put the bowl down, and I'm like,
I don't like that.
just that back and forth with all of the guys when they came in, and it's such a good scene.
Kunas hounding Emma for no
just
reason.
being a dick.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really well done. But yeah, it just made me feel ugh.
Yeah, the whole time you just want it to end.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, prop. Is there now? I thought this was tough because this movie doesn't really have props.
No, not really.
Not in the sense that we're talking about now. Something that would fit in studio that we could put on the desk or the shelf or something.
Yeah, and the only thing I came up with was that bottle that they drink out of at the end.
I thought that would be a good one. I thought the tin of eggs.
Oh yeah,
That could be a good one. Other than that,
yeah.
I got nothing.
Maybe can I have I want to have War Daddy, just like a cardboard cutout. Put it in the corner.
No,
nothing weird. Not like when he's shirtless shaving. Just
no. That's called merchandise. We're talking about an actual prop from the movie.
Oh, okay. Never mind
I'm
then.
just there's, or maybe like a tank shell. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
So I think the little tin of eggs is where I'm at because I can't think of literally anything else.
Yeah.
There's nothing of significance. It's not like Saving Private Ryan, Tom Hanks's compass or something.
Right.
You know,
jar of dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were we even doing props you want when we did Saving Private Ryan? Was that even?
That wasn't even a thing.
You know what? The compass. Thing. Oh, yeah, the labeled tins of dirt that Tom Sizemore has. Yeah, that would be sweet. All right. I think we're there then. Tevis, what are your final thoughts for 2014's Fury?
Going into this, I was not really expecting a whole lot. So I like I said before, I went to the theater and watched it, and I remember walking out of it going, okay, that was fine. And I never really had the need or want to revisit it. But this second watch, man, the acting is excellent. The visuals are excellent. The music is good, but it's not overdone to where it sticks with you.
Mm-hmm.
It just fits the moment. It feels very almost horror movie-esque at times. And there were even moments once I watched it for the second time, I was like, wait a minute, was there even music in this? So I went back, and that's why I rewatched it. And yeah, it's in the moment. It's not like a theme song or, anything like that.
It's not like this rousing score.
No, it's not. It's nothing memorable, but it works in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's weird to me. Now that you brought that up with the story, the lack of the goal, that kind of bothers me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a little bit away from it for me, but overall, I mean, this movie, it made me feel things I didn't know I was going to feel watching it. I was thinking I was just going to sit down and watch a straightforward tank war movie.
Mm-hmm.
This made me feel uncomfortable. It made me feel angry at those three fucking dickheads. It gave me the feels when Norman lost Emma, and even at the end when they all bite it. I'm like, God damn! I wanted to punch John Bernthal's character in the face.
Oh yeah,
but then he takes that round in the torso, and
the entire torso.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, what the fuck?
It's probably for the best. I don't think any of them were going to acclimate to regular life again.
Maybe Bible, but
maybe
Maybe.
he'd have the best chance, probably.
I think so. But This movie is worth the ticket price. Uh, everything is. There's not a bad part of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's excellent. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Brad Pitt, jam. Brad Pitt does an excellent job in this movie.
Yes.
He is so good as War Daddy.
Okay.
There you go.
So, my final thoughts on Fury. I gave a lot of different critique earlier about different things, so we're going to just bypass all that. No one cares. At the end of the day, we have a solid story with a clear vision for the direction and superb acting on screen. And all those elements come together to give us as of this recording, as of this moment, a truly one-of-a-kind film in the trials and the difficulties and the power, the terror, I don't even know what, of tank life and combat. Open question, because I don't know the answer. Is there another movie that I'm just not thinking of or I haven't seen that's tank focused in this way?
I cannot think of one.
Can't think of one.
Not done in this manner.
Right. Where it's like, oh no, it is cramped and confined and vulnerable at the same time being a juggernaut. Like, you get the highs and the lows.
Yeah, you feel it in this.
And like you said, it's superbly done. Very, very good. Is it worth the ticket price? Yes, it is.
Okay.
Everyone does a great job. Even Shia. I keep giving him a hard time, but no, he does a great job too. Yeah, if you haven't, check it out. If you have, give it another watch and see what you pick up, and let us know in the comments. Does the lack of a goal hurt, help? What do you think? What is the possible eye image that Tevis talked about? I want to hear more thoughts and theories on that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really curious now.
Am I just looking into it too hard? I don't know.
Are you everyone's senior LA4 teacher in high school, or it's just like, no, the author said the drapes were blue to symbolize the character's distress? Like, shut up.
That's probably me, yeah.
Shut up. You even asked the author, you're like, oh, I thought blue would look nice. Oh. Shut up. So there we go.
Okay.
There we go. Anything else, Tevis?
No.
Time!
Oh, good.
I'm gonna fall out of my
Is
chair.
it my turn or your turn?
I think it's your turn.
I think I pulled this.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you, though?
I don't know.
You just like it when I do it.
Yeah, that way I can, if it's bad, I can hammer you on it.
Yeah, but if it's bad, I just blame Sarah.
That's true.
All right. Looking in the hat. Looking in the hat. Looking in the hat. Oh, no, I got one. Oh, God, it's another big one. God damn it. All right. We've got, well, okay. John Carpenter.
Movie director.
Kurt Russell.
The Thing again.
We're doing The Thing.
Yeah.
No, it's not The Thing. It's another one.
Didn't he only do the 2?
The 2.
Yeah. The Thing. And no, he did 3. I'll take that back. He did 3 that I know of. No, he did 4.
There's an eye patch involved.
Escape from, please say New York and not LA.
Well, LA's the sequel.
Oh,
and
that's
we can't
true.
do a sequel until we do the original, which means we are doing Escape from New York.
Okay.
There we go.
That's funny. You were talking about Solid Snake earlier, and now we have Snake Plissken. Plissken.
Why are you saying it?
Inconceivable.
Wait, is that guy in this movie?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I was like, why are you saying it that way? I'm very confused.
I think Levon Cleef is.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Which is my friend's favorite actor.
What? Is your friend like 90?
Kinda.
Don't look at me. That's not my favorite actor. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, like you don't deserve some jabs. No, just fun fact.
Okay.
He loves old westerns, and Mr. Cleef is in like all of them.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like, no, I love that guy. He's my
I
favorite.
think there was a clause in Hollywood at the time. It was like, you cannot make a Western without him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tune in next week as we look at Escape from New York.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
I don't know if I have either.
I know I can recognize Snake Plissken, and I know I've probably seen pieces, but I can tell you 100% I have never seen this movie start to finish. I've never sat down and watched it.
Okay.
I've heard mixed reviews, we'll put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Donald Pleasance is in it.
Oh, really? Wait.
Yeah.
Can he look left
I don't think so.
in this movie, or it's just like,
I don't think so.
damn it, where is Pliskin? I'm over here, sir.
Were you there the whole time?
He has to pull a Zoolander and just spin around. I can't look left. It's the same look. I'll show you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Magnum.
I don't like that.
I'm pretty sure that's spot on.
I'll put a side by side. Yeah. Okay, I'm excited for Escape from New York.
So tune in, everyone, next week to episode 97.
97. We're almost to 100.
Do we want to talk about 100 or not yet?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So obviously, episode 100, we got to do something special.
Absolutely.
Then we racked our brains and we couldn't think of anything. Then we thought about it some more and we came up with something.
Wasn't very good.
Why start now? So we thought for episode 100, now is the time to bring back everyone's favorite, the showdown.
Yes. And what better movie to have a showdown with than Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
Fucking ruined that song. So yes, we're going to do the showdown from the 1995.
I've hurt myself. Hold on.
All that cholesterol.
You are such a dick. I hope you die.
So we're doing Mortal Kombat.
I hope the SS capture you.
95
They hurt you real bad.
versus Mortal Kombat 2021.
There we go.
See which one comes out on top.
Now, only one of these movies has Francois Petit, the now famous WWF at the time doctor who tended Mick Foley after his catastrophic falls off the 98 Hell in a Cell.
Really?
Yeah, he's Sub-Zero in the original.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Picture the Hell in a Cell match. Doctor comes out, balding up front with the ponytail.
Yeah.
Sub-Zero.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So do we even need to do the episode now?
I mean, we have a winner. That's cool.
All right. Well.
Sub-Zero. It's cool.
Are you Burgess Meredith the Penguin? Let the Burgess Meredith talk today. I'm okay with that.
Me too. Me too.
Tevis, do you have anything else to say to the people?
Fuck no. Let's get out of here. My butt hurts.
No joke. After we get off the air and he stands up out of the chair, after every single recording, he says it every time. I have now heard him say this 96 times.
You want to bet I go to 100?
No, wait, what odds? What kind of odds will you give me?
Oh, I'll give you good odds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then maybe.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 96, Fury. Tune in next week, 97, as we look at Escape from New York. In the comments below, let us know your thoughts on the movie, what we got wrong, right, the eye thing. Let us know if you got bingo. Make sure you click the link to check out our merch store. What am I forgetting? Patreon, YouTube channel. We've got more Running from Monsters coming soon.
Yes.
So keep an eye out for that, because that's becoming one of our more popular features.
I like it.
That we've done with our channel. And yeah, I think that's about it.
You talk about the next movie we're doing?
Colonel. I mean, yeah, I think I did.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Cool.
everyone. The most important part. Always remember to please, please, please be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and good night. And this man can kiss my big fat ass. You can go straight to hell.
That's just the cholesterol talking.
I will fucking murder you. I will. That.